Welcome back to Retro ReWire. My name is JJ. We're back for another In the Hunt, once again at the Momotaro Kingdom, supported by Surugaya and Hon Atsugi in Kanagawa, Japan. And let's start right away once again at the display case. Now this one was actually a little bit more interesting than the one I showed in the previous episode, but as you can see down in the bottom, we have a little Ralph for PlayStation 1. I believe that's the demo. And then we have the robot for the Famicom. I'm not really sure what that thing does, but I have seen it often. And then an Xbox One X in the back. Up above that, we have all things PlayStation Portable, PlayStation Vita, a couple of PS2 games, and a few retro freaks in the back. But a lot of cool Vita games here, like that Metal Slug XX. Definitely like that one. And then there's also like the SNK Classics Collection. But the big thing is going to be this Neo Geo CDZ coming in at 30,000 yen. Now this doesn't include the box, but this one is the very same one that was included in my Neo Geo pickups video. And as you can see here, it includes the body, the controller, and the AC adapter. Great pickup, that one. And that's actually the lowest that I've seen it in, I think, ever. Usually with the box, it's about twice that price. But anyhow, let's continue up here. We have some more PlayStation 2 titles. We have Rule of Rose. We have a couple of those, and one coming in at 20% off. So not too bad if that's definitely your thing. And then we have Castlevania Chronicle at 7,700 yen. That's actually one of my favorite Vania games. And then up above, we have some more PlayStation 1 titles. A lot of interesting ones here, like the Pepsi Man. What do we have? Image Fight X Multiply coming in at 15,000. We got the Burger. Don't know too much about that one. And then in the one on the far left, Air Grave for 21,000. But then we have, next to that, we have a few three games coming in at, with the most expensive one, almost shy of 50,000 yen, 39,000 yen, and 33,000 yen. Those three are more expensive than the CDZ unit. My goodness. And then here we have the Famicom Mini Game Boy Advance boxed collections. We have three of them, and I believe, actually I don't know if it was if there was a fourth, but definitely awesome to see those collector editions there. And then let's go ahead and head down the main, or not the main aisle, but I guess the next aisle. And then we have a couple of Wii Fits down there, and some Game Boy titles. And what else do we have? Up above, we have an Xbox 360 arcade unit coming in at 2,800 yen next to an Xbox One S. That's freaking crazy. And then we have Doom 64 at 2,200 yen and Mega Man X, Rockman X at 1,000 for the Game Boy Color. That's actually not too bad of a price, and I kind of regret not picking that one up. Although I don't know too much if those are interesting. But then we have Burger Pocket for 1,300. That must be some kind of franchise. And then I have no idea what this is. Coming in at 200 yen for the Game Boy Color. And then as we make our way, we have a 360 Elite at 6,000 yen. There is some notes there, so it could be missing something, or there could be an issue with it. And then we have a Wii U for 7,000 yen. And then more Game Boy goodness. We have a Sailor Moon. They also had Sailor Moon titles for the Super Famicom. We have Bonk. And then some Zelda action there for 600 yen. I wonder how that Bonk is for the Game Boy, for the regular Game Boy. And then we have the Famicom, the Family Basic keyboard in the box too. And then more Game Boy stuff. I'm not really sure what this is, but I believe that got a sequel maybe on the PSP. At least it seems kind of like Hammer and Hero. I don't know if it's the same franchise, but it seems kind of familiar, although that guy's wielding an axe. And then we have this Kirby pinball game. I have that. That's actually a pretty cool game. And a boxed Dreamcast. 6,700 yen. And next to that, we have another disc system. This was also featured in the first episode. This one is actually a little bit more expensive. And then we have a Nintendo 64. Look at this price. 2,500 yen. That's not bad at all. And you get a blue controller. And then down below in the baskets, we have an RF adapter for the Mega Drive. We have OEM S-video cables for the Sega Saturn coming in at 3,740 yen. That's freaking cool. And then component cables for the OG Xbox. Look at this thing. Look at that big old adapter. Had no idea that this was a thing for the Xbox. And then we have this Sega Mega Drive adapter for the Super Famicom. I've seen this before, and I wouldn't mind trying that out. It's kind of an interesting little thing. They kind of condensed it all down into that cart. And then we have some more stuff back here. Some kind of cable here for 660 yen. So if you're a collector of all Xbox stuff, that's some pretty interesting things. And then here, a bunch of faceplates. Although I'm not sure if this one is a faceplate, but it's coming in at 2,420 yen. It's some kind of emblem, but it's PlayStation, so I'm not really sure what the deal with that is. Kind of interesting to see that there. And then look at this, component cables for the PSP, 3,740 yen. First time seeing component cables at a Surugaya. I have some, but I mainly use the S-Video cables on my PSP 3000. And then this is the big thing, a V-Saturn complete in the box. And this thing has been marked down to 4,500 yen. And the reason for that is that it's considered junk because as it powers up, you just get a blinking red, I believe it's the access light. Yeah, the access light just kind of flashes red. So this is like a repair project. But if you're into like the box, it probably comes with the controller and everything else. And what do we have? A couple of PlayStations. 600 yen for that one, wow. And 800 yen for this one over here. And then up above that, we have some Virtua Fighter collectibles. I actually had a few of these in my hands, but I put them all back just because I'm trying to keep the game room a little bit less cluttered. And then we have an assortment of clone systems and all sorts of AV cables, more cables, and look at all these Wii's down below. My goodness, 2, 4, 6, 8. There's like about 10 of them, 9 of them, and all those Wii U's. Another Sega Saturn coming in at 1,500 yen, and above that we have the repo cart of Glay Lancer and the retro combo. Look at the image on that. That's actually not too bad for a clone system. And then we have a couple of Mario toys. That's actually pretty cool. And Battletoads for 4,700 yen. But that clone system, pretty nice clean image. And then we have some contact cleaner for the cards. All sorts of stuff here. You can spend quite a bit of time just kind of getting everything that you need. Whether it's controllers, cables. You got a Mega Drive here for 6,000 yen. And I believe that was one of the earlier releases. And then we have headphones for the Neo Geo Pocket. These are OEM for 1,210 yen. And here we have a memory card for the Neo Geo AES coming in at 2,860. I actually ended up picking this up and it totally works and it has a bunch of saves on it, so it's pretty cool. What else do we have? All sorts of adapters, controllers, a PS2 controller there, the Sega Saturn, modeled after the Sega Saturn for the PS2. And then here is a small junk section. All the games here are 110 yen. As you can see, they had Wii, Super Famicom, PlayStation, but nothing that really, I guess that really stands out. It's going to be a lot of what you expect, a lot of the fluff. But I didn't look at it into great detail, so there could be some hidden greatness amongst all this stuff here. And who knows, maybe some of those games I pulled out are actually pretty good. I see a couple Capcom spines there. Look at that, Street Fighter Alpha 303, 110 yen. That's totally worth it. And then we have some junk accessories, 110 yen. I wonder what's wrong with this thing. Sometimes just opening it up and cleaning it up is all that's needed. And it's back to tip-top shape. But here we have the loose carts for the Super Famicom. They had a lot of great stuff here. And I wish I had more time to explore this section. A lot of good stuff. And then some of these are down below, like this R-Type 3. Look at the price on that, 4,500 yen. One has 10% discount because of the back, but you could easily swap that out for something that's cleaner. And then we have Castlevania 3 for 3,200 yen. That's actually the cheapest that I've seen this game. I don't think I've seen it anywhere else that was less expensive, but that was a pretty good deal there. But then we have Captain Commando, Axelay, Super Aleste, Aliens vs Predator. Been years since I played that one. And then we have Dracula XX, Dracula X for the Super Famicom. Not too bad of a price there, 6,100 yen. We have Kiki Kai Kai, or Pocky and Rocky. And then we have Sonic Blastman 2. I love part 1. And I'm not sure what that other game is, coming in at 15,000 yen, but it was published by Sony Music, which is kind of interesting. Prince of Persia, and then we have Barkley's Power Dunk. In America, it was known as Barkley's Shut Up and Jam. Not sure what that is, but I do like that cover. And then we have Mickey Mania. This is one of the best, one of the cooler Mickey games, Mickey Mouse games. Then we have Mario Paint and the Lethal Enforcer by Konami. 8,400 yen for that. And then down below, they had some hardware. As you can see, PS2, Mega Drive, PS3s, quite a bit of PS3s, including the fat model, a Neo Geo CD, and I believe that at the end is an arcade stick. The Neo Geo CD, I believe, was 24,000 yen, something like that. And then above that, we have our Famicom loose cards. A lot of interesting titles here. But we have this Midnight Blue, I believe, PS2 for 12,000 yen. We have this Mega Drive in the box for 4,000 yen. And I'm not sure why that's discounted. Obviously, maybe the stain there on the box. But, you know, if you're a collector that wants to have it complete, they have another one here for 8,000 yen. And then we're going to make our way into Xbox. We have 360, the original Xbox, and Xbox One. Up above, they have the Blue Dragon Collector's Edition. But here we have our original Xbox titles. They even have like the Grand Theft Auto trilogy there. And then we have Jet Set Radio Future. Man, it would be awesome if this got an HD release like the original one. We have Marvel vs. Capcom 2 coming in at 6,050 yen. What else do we have here? Rainbow Six 3, Black Arrow, Ninja Gaiden, a couple of Halo 2s. And then we have Nude, Natural Ultimate Digital Experiment. Now there was a viewer that was telling me about this title, and lo and behold, I ended up finding it, or at least seeing it out in the wild. And this one, I believe it's complete, but the microphone is missing the little foam piece. But apart from that, I think it does include everything, and it's coming. You get 30% off. It's 7,920 yen. I have no idea what that's about, but definitely cool to see that title. And then we have Helicopter Indoor Adventure by Aqua System, and then Metal Wolf Chaos. Look at this, by From Software. 20% off, 10,000 yen. That's about 8,000 yen. And that's the lowest that I've seen Metal Wolf Chaos. Although that one did get a release, an HD re-release, and I believe it's for PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. And there's our Xbox One titles. A lot of good stuff. And then let's make our way into 360. What do we have here? And actually, if you pay close attention, some of those spines could be Region 1, North America. Do like that cover to the Guilty Gear game. And then we have Vampire Resurrection, 10% off, 3,300 yen. What do we have here? An Ace Combat and Katamari combo for 770 yen. And we have Steins Gate. Not really sure what this is about. But next to that, we have the Orange Box. This is a freaking awesome collection. 600 yen too. That's not bad at all. And then we have Gears of War 2. What else? All sorts of Gears of War. And then we have Conan. I picked this up, but I have the North American version. And I believe this one is now backwards compatible with the Xbox One X and the Series X. Not a particularly special game, but I do like to play it. What else do we have here? Skate 3. Space Marine. What do we have? Time Shift, Titanfall, Dead Space, and that Dead Space is the North American copy. And we have Fallout 3. That was a great game. Far Cry 2. Let's see. Nothing that really calls out to my attention, honestly. But here we have Halo Wars, the limited edition, 20% off. And look at that, it's coming in at 330 yen. That's peanuts. And then we have like a couple Halo games. But that's pretty inexpensive, and you're still getting a discount. It could be missing something though, or you know, that's the reason for the discount. But even without the discount, 330 yen, come on. Then we have the Capcom Digital Collection. And a few, what do we have? Left 4 Dead 1 and 2. Hey, that's not too bad of a price. And then what do we have here? Cul-de-sac? Something like that. Pretty cool cover there. And then here is Left 4 Dead 2. And here we are with the PlayStation, some of the newer PlayStation stuff, PS4. These are like new releases here, and then we'll take a look at a few PlayStation 5 games. But you know what? I do play a lot of modern games, but the one game that has been keeping me busy for the last like few months is Elden Ring. But here we have Disco Elysium, the Final Cut. But yeah, that Elden Ring, I'm over like 100 hours, and man, it's getting good. It's been good from the start. What am I talking about? But it just keeps getting better. But here we have Call of Duty Modern Warfare for the PS5. And then here it is, Elden Ring for the PS5. 4,300 yen. Although I'm playing it on the Xbox One X. It chugs a little bit at times, but for the most part, it's definitely an enjoyable experience. And then down on the opposite side, we have PS3, PSP, and PlayStation Vita. And you know, I was thinking, just kind of thinking to myself on the Vita collection that I got, and there is one other game that I do want for this, which is Resistance for the PlayStation Vita. Gonna track down a copy. Here we have Catherine. What is that? Full Body. I have that for the Switch. Shame that one didn't get an official North American release, but here we have the PSP titles. Probably a lot of good stuff in there, including like UMD movies, if that's your thing. And then here in the PlayStation 3 section, again, there is a lot of North American releases like this Killzone 2 for 330 yen. That's still a fun first-person shooter. We have the Saboteur for 1320. It's looking like a GameStop up in here. Look at this. Ruse, something War of Deception. I believe that's the subtitle on that one. We have Prototype. Haven't played that one. I know it's an action game. We have Ice Age. What else do we got here? Cabela's Adventure Camp. Look at that. 1,100 yen. And mind you, I'm not pulling out all the North American releases here, but we have Toy Story Mania. They even have some Asia releases and some other regions. Like here we have The Amazing Spider-Man for 2,420. And Dead or Alive 5. And I think the reason that they have so many North American copies is that there's a nearby naval base. And then here is the Switch section. I just love seeing the Switch area because look at everything just runs red. It's a freaking awesome system, especially like for like retro compilations, collections, and whatnot. All sorts of great stuff. But a lot of these games are also available on the PlayStation 4 and sometimes on the PS4. They have better performance, but I like the mobility of the Switch, and I do like the cases. Definitely cool. They kind of remind me of the PSP. And then just some more knickknacks. Look at this. We got DS. We got 3DS. I think by the time that I was filming this, I was on hour like 3 or 4. I was here like 5 hours. And I don't regret it. It was a freaking awesome store. Got some amiibos. But yeah, the Switch section. And there's my basket just kind of chilling. But guys, for the next episode, we're going to continue here. And we're actually going to get to the Neo Geo stuff, the Sega stuff, and the PlayStation stuff. There's a lot of Sega and PlayStation coming up. But anyhow, thank you for watching this episode. My name is JJ, and I hope to see you all very, very soon. Ciao.